The realm. Do you know what the realm is? It's the 1,000 blades of Aegon's enemies. A story we agreed to tell each other over and over till we forget that it's a lie.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back for another Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon update video. In this video, we will be looking at another new article that reveals some more interesting information regarding HBO's new Game of Thrones series, House of the Dragon. In this new article, we learn about when A Song of Ice and Fire author George R. R. Martin went to House of the Dragon showrunners Ryan Condal and Miguel Sapochnik and told them he wanted to see 3 very specific things added to their new show. These were 3 things that former Game of Thrones writers David and Dan left out of the main series. Now, before we actually get into the video, I want to take a moment to discuss the sponsor of this video, AtlasVPN. As I'm sure most of you already know, all of us are at risk of having our identity stolen on a daily basis as more and more of our information and data goes onto the internet. What some of you might not know is that one of the best ways to stop this from happening is by the use of a VPN service. Now, this is something that I've actually been using every day for the last 6 months. Well, this month I've joined forces with AtlasVPN to bring you the most affordable deal on online protection for as little as $1.83 a month. Not to mention, they also have a 30-day money-back guarantee. Now, on top of guarding your online identity, AtlasVPN also blocks malware and malicious links. It keeps your Google searches private, and even gives you access to online shopping deals, and will even notify you whenever someone is trying to steal your identity. Another one of my favorite things about this is it also gives you access to other regions' content on the different streaming services like Netflix. For example, if something is only available in the UK, all you have to do is switch your IP address to be able to gain access to it in the US. Right now, AtlasVPN is running a massive discount to where you can actually get a 3-year subscription for only $1.83 each month, and like I said, that has a 30-day money-back guarantee as well. You can actually jump on that deal right now before time runs out by going to the link in my description. I would recommend grabbing that deal now. I want to thank AtlasVPN for sponsoring this video. Now let's see what the article actually says. As HBO embarked on a brand new adaptation of George R. R. Martin's novels, this time of Fire and Blood, instead of the A Song of Ice and Fire, the fantasy author made a few key requests of the new showrunners. During an event attended by Insider, House of the Dragon co-showrunners Miguel Sapochnik and Ryan Condal said there were 3 things that Martin asked to have included. They said he wanted the dragons to be colorful, and an emphasis on bright heraldry, and the addition of King Jaehaerys Targaryen, the second of his name. Now, some of you might be wondering, why is this great news? What difference does it really make? We already knew about these new additions to the dragons because we have seen them ourselves in all the official photos and videos HBO has been releasing. Well, I think this is great news because it's another example of George R. R. Martin's involvement with House of the Dragon. This shows that they are actually respecting him by not only listening to what he has to say, but giving him what he wants as well. This is actually very different to how he was handled during the run of Game of Thrones. We know that now because he already wanted these additions in Game of Thrones, but he never got them until now. I think this is great because it shows how him and these new showrunners have a healthy relationship. Maybe it's only me who believes this, but I think this is a really great sign moving forward. I hope this is a small glimpse of what will come in the future. It starts with him getting this small addition added to the show, but hopefully it will lead to him getting even bigger things added into the show down the road. We shall see. Now, according to House of the Dragon showrunner Miguel Sapochnik, George R. R. Martin made note of when Game of Thrones showrunners David Benioff and D.B. Weiss left Jaehaerys out of the listed line of rulers when it came to historical Targaryen kings in the fictional universe. David and Dan skipped over Jaehaerys for reasons of clarity that he really did not understand, Sapochnik said, when referring to author George R. R. Martin. He had a bee in his bonnet about it. He wanted us to write that wrong. So it sounds like this made George R. R. Martin upset, or at the very least annoyed that they decided to leave this out of Game of Thrones. As for the other additions he wanted that revolved around color, George R. R. Martin was hopeful that House of the Dragon would be the perfect time for fans to see dragons of varying size, shape, and color. In Game of Thrones, Daenerys Targaryen's 3 dragons had distinct coloring. Drogon, named for Khal Drogo, had black and red scales. Viserion, named for her brother Viserys, was golden. And Rhaegal, named for her other brother Rhaegar, was green and bronze. However, as her dragons got larger, their coloring became a subtle accent among dark black and gray scales. In House of the Dragon, however, each dragon should be distinct enough for the fans to know which Targaryen is flying on them based simply on the color of the dragon scales. It definitely seems like this is something they have addressed in House of the Dragon. We have seen several dragons already, and so far, each of them do look very different from one another. This was a great addition if you ask me. It's something that I think was necessary, especially when there will be so many more dragons in this Game of Thrones series. Now, George R. R. Martin also asked that House of the Dragon add a lot of symbolic color related to all the major and minor houses of Westeros. He spoke with Ryan Condal about the heraldry fans who would want to see this, and how these minor additions will have significance in the show. It's such a time of high decadence and wealth and prosperity for the realm, Ryan Condal said. Everybody would really adorn themselves in their house colors and be proud of them as they marched into the tournament. Now, all we have to do is wait a little over a week before we're finally able to see all of these new additions get brought to life in the new Game of Thrones successor show, House of the Dragon. Thanks to George R. R. Martin, we will finally see how different each of the dragons should actually look. I don't know about all of you, but that's the newest addition I'm looking forward to the most. From what I've seen so far, and all of the new videos and photos HBO has been releasing, it already looks like they've done an amazing job at making each of the dragons stand out from one another. Let me know which one you like the most, out of the 3 things George R. R. Martin wanted added into the show.
The Targaryens are the sort of fascinating dynasty that we don't really know much about from the original books, because at that point, they've all died out.
Game of Thrones begins roughly 298 AC, almost 300 years after Aegon's conquest. House of Dragon takes place a couple hundred years before Game of Thrones.
The Dance of the Dragons. A stupid name for a Targaryen civil war where my ancestors danced away my birthright. Before the war, House Targaryen counted 18 dragons. By the end, we had 2. And nearly as few Targaryens. We would never be as powerful or as feared again.
Leave me your thoughts down below. As always, I want to thank everyone for stopping by and watching the video. I also want to thank AtlasVPN again for sponsoring the video as well. I hope all of you have a great day. I will see you again very soon. Bye.